All right. So thank you so much for popping on here. I know that you guys are super busy with life and other things, and the fact that you take time to show up and show your beautiful face truly means a lot to myself, and I know to Alina as well. Um, it's a really big deal, and we take notice of whose eyeballs are here on Sundays, and life happens. This is not to shame the people watching the recording, but just know that it really means a lot to us. So we have some really super exciting stuff to roll out, and I'm going to let Alina start, and then I will kind of pop in and we'll just go back and forth. I'm really excited about this.
All right. So we had talked a little bit about doing a team-wide free group before, but Andrea and I got together this past week and we nailed out all the details for it, and we have the complete group put together, and it's amazing. It is really, really awesome. So we're calling it the Training Ground. And we're going to run this, right now it's going to be a month. So we'll see how this goes if we decide to do more than once a month. If we need to, we will, but right now we're going to run it once a month. And the first one is going to start the 31st of March. So that's a Sunday. It's going to run Sunday through Thursday, correct, Andrea? Yes, 5 days. Sunday through Thursday. And so you'll want to be inviting to this come next week, all right? Now, we're going to kind of walk through what this is going to look like, because if you've ever run a free group before, everybody does them a little bit differently. And the way that we're running it this time is totally different than Andrea and I have ever run a free group ourselves. So if you've learned how to run free groups from either of us in the past, this is different than how we've ever done it. And I think it's going to be really awesome. So those of you guys who were at the retreat, Nicole Headland, who spoke with us, shared some of her ideas with us, and we took some and left some and tweaked it a lot to make it Self-Love Dynasty style. And we're just thinking that this is going to be a really, really powerful way for all of us to build trust with our cold market, because how hard is it when we're trying to reach new people and they come and they find our page and we're so excited they're following us, but it takes time to build trust with them before they are ever going to spend any money to sign up in an actual group with you. The best way to do this is by giving them free value and not asking anything in return. So you're going to give them an entire week of really awesome change your life content. And we're just, I mean, it is packed full of, you know, exactly what they need to make their own transformation mentally and it's going to give them a real taste of what we'll get in our P group. And then the cool thing about it is that all you guys have to do is invite your people. You don't have to do any work. We're going to run this entire thing. We will talk in a little bit here about how we want you guys to get involved in this, but you're not going to have to spend any time creating content. It takes a lot of work to put together free groups, a lot of work. And this is going to be a system that our team has in place that we will run every month. It's not something that's going to have to be recreated. Nobody's going to have to go out there and, you know, put all this stuff together on their own. We've got it all put together. We're going to take turns kind of posting and sharing, and everyone who is inviting people, which should be each and every one of us, into the group is going to help keep that engagement and activity and energy really high within the group. And then Andrea and I will do the call to action at the end of the week to bring the people from the free group over into our paid challenge group. So as a new coach, this is the least intimidating way that you can learn how to invite somebody, because it can be a little scary and hard to invite. Not saying that we shouldn't do it, we should still be doing it, inviting to our paid challenge groups, but it's so much easier to invite them to something that's totally free and just say, hey, I think you'd really, I think you'd really love this. I have a free group coming up, and we can talk more specifically about how you might start those conversations, but it's easy because you're not asking for anything in return. They're going to sweat with us. They're going to eat healthy with us. They're going to check in and see what it's like to have a team of accountability supporting them and encouraging them. And hopefully they're going to get that taste, exactly what they need to make the decision that, yes, this is exactly what I need to make my own transformation. And then we can roll over into the paid accountability groups from there. So Andrea, I will let you pop in and kind of fill in some of the gaps on details.
Okay, so I just want to reiterate that this is totally different from how I currently run my free groups. And I firmly believe that getting uncomfortable is necessary to grow. And I have been running my free groups the same way for a couple of years now, and they're effective and they work, but I also feel like they are losing steam and momentum for me. So this is the perfect transition time. So anyone who is uncomfortable with change, get used to change, because it happens all the time. And usually corporate changes something a couple times a year, and some coaches get really frustrated with it, and the successful coaches just roll with it. So so the biggest change for me, and for anyone that has run a free group in the style that, you know, I did my training video on the team page with, is that they are going to become your customer right away. So you will already be linked to this person, so that if they would ever purchase something down the road, you will already be getting credit for it. That being said, they're not spending anything, but they do need to create an account and have you listed as their coach. And they're going to get a Beachbody On Demand 14-day free trial. Okay, so that means that they're going to get to try all of the workouts. Well, not all of them, because it's only 5 days, but we're going to give them potential tracks of which workouts to do for the 5 days, depending on what their ability level is. We are going to talk about nutrition, but we're going to keep the nutrition very simple, similar to the free group style that I have talked about before, where it's just cutting out processed foods, alcohol, and sweets. We will talk about the containers just to introduce them and get them curious about them, but we're not going to dive into like, you have to follow the container system, because that's a lot to wrap your brain around when they're also starting new healthy habits with the workouts and things like that. But we, like Alina said, we have this whole thing already written. Like, it is done. And we do want some of you to help us out, which simply means that you're going to take a day and you are going to schedule all of those posts. We have all the images created. We have all the content. So you're literally just copy pasting, and you're the poster that day. And you have it all scheduled, so you don't have to worry about being online at certain times. And we're all going to do this together, which is freaking amazing, because it's going to keep the energy up. And our current customers, you guys, our lifers, they have Beachbody On Demand accounts with us, so they can be in this free group too, which is always one of my favorite things about my free groups, is that all of you join them and you keep the energy up high. So it's going to be amazing. So I'm going to just touch on a few things that Alina and I, we talk about 12 minutes before the team call starts. And I don't tell you that to tell you that we're like unorganized and unprofessional. I am telling you that because you guys need to know that any of you can host a team call for your team. Right? Okay. Glad you all know that. Okay. So we already have the group up and running for this April group. We are totally cool with you guys joining it right now. Just know that content isn't going to start until like right before the group starts on the 31st. We're going to start having content in there on the Friday before. And so does everyone understand the whole Beachbody On Demand free trial thing? For those of you that may not, or maybe watching the recording, in your Share a Cart, you can send someone the link for the free trial. If you go to, you log in, you put in their email, their first name, and just customer, and then say, yes, I have permission. And under fitness programs, If you scroll all the way to the end, there's one for Beachbody On Demand, just Beachbody On Demand all by itself, not a challenge pack. And then if you change the option to the 3-month payment plan, it will send them a link that's for $0, and it won't charge their credit card until day 14. So just let them know that, hey, you're going to have to enter your credit card. Don't worry. It won't charge you until day 14. So if you absolutely don't like this, you can just call and cancel and you won't pay a dime. Okay? So if you're like me, I like to take on the responsibility of other people when I shouldn't. So how I am going to navigate this is I will say, just make sure you set a reminder on your phone so that you can make that decision on day 13. Like, am I going to keep doing this or not? But honestly, you guys, we want them all to cancel on day 13 because we want to send them a challenge pack link. And we can't do that unless they cancel their current 3-month subscription. Okay? So put it on your calendar. That is your, like, you have to follow up by that day because you want to know, are you in or are you not? Okay? Plus, you don't want them to not want to do it and then get charged and then get mad at you and send you an angry message. But that is how we're going to get people set up with the workouts. So they're going to have full access to Beachbody On Demand during this free group, which is super awesome. You want to make sure that you aren't sending these links to these people too early so that their 14-day free trial runs out before the group is over. So we need to be like making this, like, the timeline. Just think about that. You know, knowing when the group starts, when to start inviting, when to have those conversations, things like that. Maybe I'll let Alina take the next couple on our list.
I think you talked about them all. So we do want you guys to volunteer for taking the responsibility of being a poster, meaning that you're going to help share content. If we have more people than we have days, which would be ideal, meaning there's more than 5 of you who want to share your face as a leader in that group, then we will split up the posts per day, and you won't take the entire day. You might just take a post or 2, okay? So if you want to participate and be one of the people sharing something, sharing one of the posts in the group, would you comment in the chat right now and let us know that you want to do that? We'll take note of your names. If you're watching the recording, please just maybe personal message Andrea or I and let us know we'd like to do that. Let us know in the next few days because we are going to divvy up everybody who wants to do this so that you guys have the content, you can get it scheduled in there so that we're not waiting till the day of, the morning of the post that you're supposed to be posting that morning and it's like, oh shoot, I was supposed to post. So everything can be scheduled ahead of time, all set and ready to go. Awesome, you guys, look at all of you. Okay, this is what we were hoping because the more faces that we have in there, the more, I think, social proof that it is for everyone that's new, that's coming in. If it was just one person being the authority and the leader in all of it, it's hard to trust just one person. But when you have so many faces that are backing this up and saying, this really works, we're excited about this, I think that just builds that social trust that social proof that people need to build that trust and jump on board. So yeah, you don't have to be familiar with this. You don't have to have ever done anything like this before. All the content is already created. Like Andrea said, the images we have all ready to go and everything. So you will literally just have to copy and paste it. And it will show that it's coming from you that day, which is what we want. So let me just take a look at my notes here.
And our hope is that you'll take this document and one day do this with your team. Like, it is so easy to duplicate and help your brand new coaches, but we're also happy to do this like completely team wide so that the groups are big. The way that we're doing this is going to prevent the people who join your free groups month after month after month after month and never buy anything from you. Because once they become your customer, and they can't do the 14-day free trial ever again. So it's kind of a one and done type situation. And that's something that's totally different from what we've done in the past, or a lot of us have done in the past. And it's just, we have to keep trying new things and reinventing things and doing that just so we can grow and learn. So I'm excited.
So, yeah, one really cool thing, and we mentioned this a little bit, but one really cool thing that's different than what we haven't done in the past is, since they are signing up for the Beachbody On Demand trial, they are getting a much better glimpse into what our actual group is like, because they're getting to do the actual workouts that we are doing in the group. It's just a much better representation of what they can expect, so that when they join, from coming from a free group into the paid group, they really know what they're going to get. They really already have a really good taste in their mouth that, yes, this is something that they need, they want this. So I think it just enhances the whole experience start to finish for them. So really excited about that. And so we have the tracks designed based on level. So like if they are a brand new beginner, haven't been working out at all, they will have a track that they can follow with specific workouts that are set up for beginners. If they are somebody who is super active and, you know, they just want to they want the accountability maybe for their fitness, we have workout programs that they can follow and workouts that are set for the advanced. So they'll be able to pick something that's suitable and a little bit more personalized to them, which will be really nice. It's an easy way for everybody to get something that speaks directly to them versus doing something that's kind of an umbrella for everybody. And what was I going to say with that? Oh yeah, we're going to also do a giveaway on Friday. So Friday is when all the posts will start happening. We do start on Sunday, so it's giving them a couple of days to get prepped, mentally ready. We're going to do introductions on that Friday. When they first come into the group, Andrea will already have a video posted in there welcoming them, telling them a little bit of what to expect. And then we're also going to give them an opportunity to refer their friends into the group. So we're going to do a giveaway on Friday for them to, this isn't just for them to go add random people into the group to get their name into a drawing. No, we're going to be very specific. They have to have their friends' permission. This is for people who they think might want to do this with them. And we're really making the focus on the fact that fitness is more fun with friends. Right? So if they know somebody, we should always be asking for referrals. And this is such an easy way to do it. So we're going to be doing that. So the dates of the group, we're starting on the 31st of March. And then we'll run through that Thursday. So is that the 4th? It must be the 4th. So the 31st through the 4th. And let's see. And all the workouts are 22 to 30 minutes. Yes, that's right. So all the workouts. And if you guys didn't see the link, I added that in the chat as well. So go ahead and check the chat if you haven't already and add yourself into that group. That way you have access. And then Andrea and I will go ahead and divvy up who's going to post what. And we will give you all access to the document that we have and the images and all of that sort of stuff. So let's go ahead and open it up for questions. Does anybody have any specific questions on the group that's coming up that maybe we didn't touch on yet? Can you explain how to schedule a post? Yes. So when you go in to, like you're going to just post in the group, there will be like a little time clock at the bottom. You're going to push, you'll post the content in there and the picture, and then you'll click the little time clock at the bottom, and then it will allow you to select what day and time you want that post to be scheduled, and then you'll hit schedule, and it will go out on that time. So it won't post immediately. You just have to make sure that you hit the schedule button. If you have any questions when you go to do it and you can't see where you're supposed to be clicking or anything like that, just let one of us know and we'll walk you through that. Other questions? You guys are welcome to unmute yourself or type it in the chat. Don't add anyone to the group until you see the welcome video posted though. Yes. And I think the earliest we really want to add anybody is what, like Thursday?
I was going to have the welcome video post like first thing, or I was going to do it Thursday night. So anytime after you see that welcome video, feel free to that's your like all clear, like we're ready to go and you can start adding people.
Yeah. So, and that doesn't mean you can't already, you should already be having had those conversations, and you can be getting people set up with the Beachbody On Demand free trial in the meantime. And then just say, you know, once we get you set up with this trial, we can get you plugged into the group, that sort of thing. So there's that kind of lag time that gives you until the group is all set up and ready to go. And that way they're not sitting in an empty group with nothing happening. Once they're in there, it's going to be go time, and we're going to have a lot of really good content coming for them and get the engagement going.
One other thing is you can add people to the group even before they create that account with you, because we're going to have content in there saying, all right, you've only got 2 more days to make sure you have your Beachbody On Demand free trial set up. Comment below when you have it. And then it's going to be all of our responsibility to keep track of who is coming here from me to the group, who is coming here. You know, I'm not going to keep track of all of your people that you invited, but you need to be making sure that you see all of these people in your Coach Online office signed up for the free trial as your customers. So if they don't sign up for it, you do need to boot them from the group, or just, we'll say anyone who decided they didn't want to do this, make sure you remove yourself from the group.
Yes. So Katie, yeah, it is a really easy form. It's no time at all to change a coach. If you go into your Coach Online office, you're going to click on forms and documents, and then under there is a coach change form. So you would just send them that form, and they can fill it out and submit it, and 24 hours later, you will see them in your Coach Online office. So it's really easy. What was I going to say about the last thing? Oh, it was good too. Let me think. I'm sure I'll think of it right when we get off the call. Oh, I know. This group should be huge, you guys, because this is a free group. So we should all be getting a lot of people to join in this group. The more people you can get on board in here to work out for 1 week with us, the better chance you have of exploding your Success Club point numbers for the month of April. So make it a point to invite like crazy to this free group. Post about it. Do calls to action in your post. Talk about it on your Instagram stories more than one time, like not just once. Remember, most people, when you're posting something, 10%, if that, of your following is seeing that. So posting about it more than one time in different ways, talking about it in different ways on your Instagram stories or live on Facebook or however you want to do that. And sending those personal invites is probably the most important part. So don't take it easy on the invites for this. It's easy to invite to a free group, and we should be getting as many people as possible into that group.
Okay, I have a question. So what kind of verbiage are you guys using to invite or put out for this group specifically? Like, what have you guys thought of so far?
Great question. So I myself am going to say, because I do run free groups pretty frequently, I'm going to talk about how Alina and I put our heads together and we have completely revamped our free group. So if you have ever been in a free group of mine before, this is going to be amazing and you're not going to want to miss it, because it's totally new, totally revamped, and people are going to get results, and you're going to get an even better taste of what it's like to be in one of my long-term accountability groups, and just try to create a ton of FOMO around it. But I also don't like giving away all of the details. So I'm not going to say how or why it's different. I'm just going to say, this is like, if you want to up level yourself and try one of my free groups, you don't want to miss this one because it's amazing.
Yeah. So there's a lot of ways that you can do it. And if you've never run a free group before, you don't have to necessarily say that it's revamped, but letting people know that this is going to be, if they've ever wondered what it's like to be in one of your groups, it's an opportunity for them to jump on board for 1 week. You're going to give them, you're going to work on nutrition and fitness and mindset, and they're going to get to see how big of a difference accountability makes in the journey. So it's an opportunity for them to just kind of get a little taste of what you're always so passionate about in your posts on social media. So there's lots of different spins, I think, that you can take on it. But like Andrea said, do the curiosity marketing. Don't give them, this is all what you're going to get when you join my free group. Give them those little breadcrumbs and let them want to ask for more information. And making sure that every single post that you put out there and story, you are doing a call to action, having them drop an emoji, having them message you, having them fill out a form, having them send them to you somehow, have them comment below so you can reach out to them. However you want to do that, make sure that you're doing that call to action, because studies show that if you tell them what to do, they are so much more likely to do it. So if they're thinking about it, but that call to action isn't on the bottom, chances are they're not going to just reach out and say, what is that free group thing you're doing?
I totally agree. And I think if you've never run a free group before, a really easy way to talk about it is just make it about you and say, I need a reboot. I need to completely clean up my diet, clean up my mindset, and I need people to do this with me. So I am going to be in a 5-day free group where we're going to just hold each other accountable. And I want to know who also is in that same boat right now. Comment below. Something like that.
Yes. Actually, that is one of the most successful ways that I've marketed mine in the past is, yes, I think that's huge, because it makes it seem less like you're like searching for people and more like, all right, I need this and I want to know who needs this with me. Like, let's do this thing together. Yeah, I do love that approach. I usually get a pretty good response when I go that way.
Any other questions?
Who's excited for this? Yes, I am so pumped. I'm so pumped for so many reasons. Doesn't matter how long you've been a coach, but honestly, you guys, I know that every single person on this call wants to grow their team. And as we are looking at bringing on new coaches, there is no better way to help them get started than to be able to plug them into this team-wide free group where they can so easily invite with no experience or no results yet or anything else. It's just an opportunity for them to bring people right in, and then we're going to come around them and help them get people transitioned over into the actual accountability group, the lifers group. So I think this is absolutely going to change the game for our team, but each and every one of us has a responsibility to get out there and send the invites, because if we do all this group and nobody is plugged into it, guess what? It ain't going to work. So we've got to get people in there.
So what we wanted to spend the rest of tonight doing is kind of making a rough draft of how you want to market this. Maybe making your initial call to action, and then maybe some ideas of things you can do or say on your stories, or basically just creating that game plan, because we want to start inviting, not this midweek, but next week, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, you want to be talking about this constantly. So having a game plan already set in place, so you're not next week, oh crap, I was supposed to talk about that free group, what am I going to say? Having just, a couple paragraphs ready to go to copy paste with a post, to invite people to it. So
I do want to say one thing with that. So don't let this, we're thinking about starting our invites for this free group mid next week or early-ish next week. Don't let that stop you from sending invites all this week because you have a free group that you're going to invite to, but you're not going to start inviting to that until next week. Send your daily invites to your regular group just like you always do every single day this week until we start inviting to that one, okay? So don't let your mindset go to that place where you're giving yourself that off the hook sort of thing, with those invites, because that is very easy to do. But we're trying to do this to propel our businesses to the next level. We don't want it to set you back by kind of taking your foot off the gas.
Perfect point to end on. Any other questions before I stop the recording? Because we're not going to record us writing. Perfect. All right. Well, I'm going to end the recording then.